Lights, camera.
Lights, camera, action.
Do we need to turn on that light?
So let's talk a little bit about the market and what we think is going to happen in 2024. And I think let's start with, if there was one word that you would choose to describe the housing market in 2024, what would it be? Kevin.
My word is going to be improving.
Improving. Okay. Casey?
I'd say awesome.
Awesome. That sounds like you.
Yeah.
Yep. I would say intentional. And I think that there's lots of ways that we can best describe those. But let's start with improving.
Okay.
How do you think that?
What do I think improving?
Yeah,
Can I say that?
right.
Okay. I think we're starting off the year in a little better place than last year. There's some increased buyer interest. Rates are mid sixes or so. I think the economy's improving. Inflation is improving. I don't think it's going to swing from here to here overnight. It's a transitionary year. I think there'll be some more activity this year. I think there'll maybe more buyer activity than listings.
Right.
I think prices will continue to have a lot of strength, but I think it's improving. It's not I don't think it's going to be a breakout crazy year like we saw during COVID.
Right.
But I think it's going to be a little bit better than last year.
Like just little tweaks, right? In the market.
Minor.
Yeah. Minor little tweaks can get a buyer off of the fence, a seller off of the fence. So we're not going to see this huge transition, but I think we're going to see.
It'll be marginally better.
Yeah.
Improving.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. See, I thought that too.
Yeah.
Good transition.
Exactly.
So I say awesome because I think last year we looked at, last year was about interest rates. I think it's still going to be about interest rates. Last year, everybody was coming from their 2 or 3% interest rate. So it was always, every month it seemed to increase. So it was getting further away from the goal. This year, we get our point of reference is 8%. That's where we hit last year. So now we're not 8%, or 6.5% or 6%. So it's good news. We have the momentum of the news I always wonder how bad is the market going to get? And it was slow last year as far as units. But I think that idea that we're coming from we're better than we used to be type mentality, I think that's going to allow people permission to buy or permission to sell or move forward with whatever life event was getting them in the market to begin with.
Right. Everybody had a life. If you have a life event, you have to do something, right?
And I think you can put up with it. The house too small, the house too big. That works for a while, but it grows old.
Right.
And so I think now nobody wants to think, do I do it now? Because next month it's going to be higher. Now it's like, okay, well, it's not 8.
Right.
So I'm at least giving my permission to take that leap and just to get into the house and make that move.
And make that awesome move of getting the house of your dreams, right?
Absolutely.
Right. I agree. So I picked intentional because I think everything that we've done, we're looking through the next year. Intentional is something that if we want to do something, we put intent into it and we strive for it, right? Like if for using your example, if they've been waiting to buy a house for a really long time, they're going to be intentional about the fact that they need to do it today. Their life has changed and they need to do it. Same thing with, if they're selling a house, they have to be intentional about the fact that this is what I want. This is where I'm headed. Help me get there. And they're sick of waiting.
Absolutely.
I think that there's an opportunity for those that have been waiting for something to happen. Interest rates have gone down a little bit. We have a few more listings coming on the market. So we've got some opportunities for people to be intentional about what their next goal is and actually not wait anymore, but actually move.
I was going to say, in your intentional thing, I was thinking about this too. It's like, if we're thinking of some rate, like that's our number, like it's got to have a 5 in front of it or something. You have to start really doing the math. If it's a finance thing, you have to ask yourself, is it an emotional thing or a finance thing?
Right.
Because if it's a finance thing, you have to say, I think prices are still going to continue to have strength, and because I don't think we'll have enough listings to match the buyer demand. So what equity are you giving up between now and then and waiting? Are you waiting for a lower rate, but the prices go up in the meantime and you end up in the same place anyway, and now you've lost the opportunity for equity? So I think you have to really be intentional thinking through what does that mean for you if the financial part, because you have to factor in all the pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
People buy and sell and they move not just for the financial component of it.
Right.
And they try to time it exactly. And I think people get caught up in that. The fact is the quality of life oversees all that. And I think people, you're not at the peak, you're not at the 3%, but you're also not at 8. And I think when you're in the middle, you're going to say, okay, you know what? I want that bigger house. I want that smaller house. I'm going to go ahead and take that leap. And the intentional part is I'm going to go out and do that. I don't have to buy tomorrow. I don't have to get in the frenzy of trying to compete for it.
Right.
It's more of a slower paced market that I can take a minute not too long because we are seeing multiple offers still. We're seeing things that come on the market move fast, but it gives them a little, it's not quite the pace we were at once.
And I think that's we all have that we all know supply and demand, right? That's what we learned in high school. When the supply is low, demand is up, and that means prices go up.
Yeah.
And as the inventory slowly ticks up just a little bit, like we were talking about, just those little movements of improvement, the prices are going to continue to go up because we have so many buyers that want to buy. So that I think that this is a very good time to be intentional and really like, this is what I want to do and I'm going to do it. And you're not missing the best thing out there. You're not waiting anymore, for what's coming, because this is the time to do it. Yeah.
And I think with interest rates going up and, low inventory, people thought with no proven facts to back it, that prices were going to fall.
Right.
And I think we're kind of over that hurdle that, listen, we've got a big demand for housing that we can't fill. And we're not going to have prices go back.
Yeah. Right. So our message to all of you is the market is improving. Be intentional about what you want to do and be awesome and move where you want to go and have a Long Realty agent help you. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.